Hello, guys. Hey, beautiful people. How you doing, yo? Welcome back again to the channel. Let's gist the Big Brother Naija show. Come on in, guys. Come on in, guys. Let's do this. Come on in. Let's do this, guys. Double win for Neche as she bags the um, winner Friday Arena Games. As she bags the Friday Arena Games. So come on in, let's talk. Hey, beautiful people, it's me, your girl, Fosti Oni, and you're welcome back to the channel for Stick. Currently, we're talking about the Friday Arena Games, and you know, congratulations to Neche once again. So I don't know if I should wait a little bit so we'll have more people on the live stream. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in. As you come in, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell, all that good stuff, and let's get it rolling, guys. Please, as you come in, turn on your, like, give the live stream a big thumbs up, like it, that's what I mean, guys. Come in, guys, let's talk. The updates concerning the ongoing Big Brother Naija. We also want to congratulate Neche. Double win for Neche this week. This week has really been a lucky one. Although it was very, very stressful for Neche, but at least, even though it was stressful, we can also say that this week is a good week for her because she won the head of house this week. They also won their wager this week as she was the main character. She and Saltex. I gave us a total, you know, package on it in yesterday's live stream. And today, being the Friday Arena Games, Neche also won the Friday Arena Games. So a huge congratulations to Neche. If you're a Neche fan, give your girls a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. This week, uh, earlier in the week, up to when they had this their up to when they had their wager, I was feeling sorry for Neche because she really stressed herself getting these housemates to listen, to obey, to come through for the wager and all that. It was a whole lot. That Big Brother had to acknowledge her. He acknowledged her efforts in bringing the housemates to at least show up for the wager. And through collective efforts of her, Aiku and Ricky, with a few other housemates, they made sure that they got the win, the wager win. And now, today again, the icing on the cake. She won the Friday night arena game. So, huge congratulations to Neche. And we hope that it continues that way. Moving on, let's talk about the pool party. Guys, yesterday was the housemate pool party. And I saw some things in that party that I was like, okay, let's talk about this. Guys, I saw Chisom and Blutopia. Guys, Chisom was, dancing a whole lot with Kamsi in the previous, that's last week's pool party. He and Kamsi were just as close knit, tight as hell, and all that. And I was expecting like maybe a repeat of the same thing this week, but guys, it was not like that. Apparently, Kamsi had told Chisom Chuka that she's not interested in pushing anything with him anymore in the house, that she is going for Gerald. and that made Chisom Chuka a little bit resentful. I'll still talk about that in this particular live stream. And even though he was resentful, he started shifting his attention to Bluetopia. Hi, Razi Ike. Hi, welcome to the channel. So, because Kamsi had rejected Chisom Chuka, that she was not interested and she was moving on to Gerald, Chisom Chuka, was resentful and started hunting for Plutopia. They were dancing so much at the pool party. I was like, what is the, as in, at some point he will go, he will hold Plutopia. It was just like marking his territory around Plutopia. I was like, Chisom Chuka, you never talk with you, they fine. You still never talk with you, they fine. I was like, ha. On the other end, I looked at Kamsi dancing and grinding away with Gerald. Hey, the way, guys, imagine how Kamsi was with Chisom Chuka last week. That was how she was with Gerald. She was dancing a whole lot, grinding up. And I'm like, looking at this girl, this Kamsi girl. This Kamsi girl, she's really wild like that. I think she has, will I even call it now a double personality or what? I don't know. I don't just want to label her. But Kamsi always claims that she's a good girl, she's a church girl, she's a Jesus girl. You understand? But when it comes to parties, she doesn't dance like a good girl. The way she dances. Last week, Chisom Chuka carried her up, held her, as in her legs was in Kafanchan, the other one was in Timbuktu. I was like, wow. This week again, she was just grinding up all up on Gerald in the pool. Guys, it was really hot, really, really hot. And I'm like looking at this girl. After you will say that you're a church girl, is this the way you're dancing now? Is that how church girls dance? So Kamsi just presents herself like, especially at parties now, and when she's dancing that way, she presents herself as somebody who had been caged for a while, that just had a little freedom, and she was like, let me take all the whole freedom I can, let me do all the whole excesses I can, because I don't know when next I'll be going back into my cage. Remember, like, children from very strict parenthood, when they go out maybe to boarding school or they enter into the university, how they just unleash and start doing so much because of the newfound freedom which they cannot be able to manage. That is the kind of vibes I'm getting from Kamsi. I might be wrong, but that is the kind of vibes that I'm getting from Kamsi, because the way she dances, and if after everything she will admit to doing such a thing, it will be a little bit bearable. But sometimes when you even question her, she will blame it on the alcohol, that she did not know that it happened. Did it happen like that? I did not know. So I'm like, who is this girl? Is she having some sort of personality crisis or identity crisis or what? Guys, I saw that and I thought, okay, let me talk about it. As for Yusuf and Bells, these two people, they've been doing quite a lot in the house, so theirs is not really new. So they were dancing and raising up a storm at the pool party, and we give it to them. As for Sheba and Ricky, I saw Sheba and Ricky dancing at the pool party, and I'm like, what's going on here? Remember that last week Ricky was trying to get close to Sheba, and Sheba too was kind of giving him the green light that it's okay, he can come. They were having conversations and all that. And Ricky mentioned to Sheba that he has a crush in the house. He really likes Neche. That Neche is the most beautiful girl in the house. In the house this season, and that Neche has the best fist card. He was just talking about Neche, and I'm like, if you're interested in Sheba and you want to start up something with Sheba, why will you go ahead and tell Sheba about Neche? That means you want Sheba to either feel some type of way or what. Guys, I do not understand why Ricky did that. And I want to believe that it may be part of the reason why Sheba was giving Neche some, attitude this week, and I believe so, because she'll be like, "Is this the girl?" And you know how girls are now, so I believe so. For Tram, after Sheba danced with Ricky a bit, she went to Tram. She was dancing. Sheba really had a lot of fun in the pool party. For Barry and Neche, guys, these two people, I don't really understand the whole dynamics. Barry said he has a crush on Neche. He really likes Neche. But some other time I will see him talking with Goddessa in some type of way. He's complimenting her eyes, that she has sexy eyes, complimenting her. I'm like, if you're really interested in nature, why are you doing this with Goddessa? So with Barry and Goddessa, sort of sexual tension there. I don't know how deep it is, but it's starting, it's brewing. And Goddessa, even though she's with Araga, she's entertaining it because she also likes Barry. And that's why she was also giving Neche distinct attitude this week. So Barry and Neche, they were really dancing in the pool party. At some point, Ricky, was in the mix. And I'm like, Ricky, guys, let me say this here. Ricky really wants to get, close to Neche as he did in the first week of the show. But because of all the things that had happened between them, and these two people have a lot of ego, Neche is like, she's a fine girl. She's not going to be the one to chase a guy. If a guy wants her, then he should do the chasing. While Ricky has always presented himself as somebody that has a laid back attitude, he doesn't really fight for anything. And I will say this because even during the wager rehearsals and all that, when they need a director, Ricky doesn't really fight. He doesn't really put up a fight to clinch any major role like director role as he wants. He prefers that the housemates should come to him, as they know it, or to seek his help or whatever. And I'm like, guys, if you really want something, you have to go to get it. You have to work to get it. You have to earn it. You can't just relax and hope that things will just come to you like that. Sometimes it may not happen that way. And in a game like Big Brother Naija, it's a very competitive game. Everybody is trying to do whatever he or she can to thrive, to be visible, to make themselves, visible to the audience. But Ricky is just laid back, dragging his feet, acting all nonchalant. I'm like, guy, if you continue this way, I'm very, very sure that when you're up for eviction with strong contenders, you will go home, because you have now become so dull in the game. You are no longer active. The way we're hearing about Ricky in the first week is not the same way we are hearing about him now, because he's not competitive at all. He's had this laid back attitude, and he's not giving at all. Guys, at this point, I would say it. Ricky is just a big talker that cannot do much. So I hope that he changes his ways. But guys, I'm tired of hoping, because he's not showing the stuff he's made up of at all, at all, at all. So, like I was saying, Ricky and Neche, you could see that these two people wanted to, dance with each other and all that, but their ego got in the way, and they did not do that. They did not do that. So, guys, moving on from the pool party, well, let's talk about some of the conversations that happened after that. For Nomi and Cassie had this conversation, and Nomi was telling Cassie that he has to choose between her friendship and his own friendship with Tram. She called Tram an irritant, that she did not like Tram at all, and she cannot understand why Cassie is still friends with Tram. So she has to draw a line. She doesn't want her friends to also be friends with somebody she considers an irritant, i.e. Tram. So guys, understand what I'm saying. So she said she doesn't want somebody that she considered an irritant, and her friends are now getting close to the person that Cassie guys, that Cassie just have to choose between having her as a friend and also keeping Tram as a friend. So I've always told you guys that Nomi has always wanted unwavering loyalty from her friends, and I'm not sure that that is the kind of thing she also does for her friends, because Cassie asked her that he when he quarreled with Godessa and was not talking to Godessa, that he did not stop Nomi from talking to Godessa because Godessa was her friend. So why would she think that it is possible for her to come to him now and tell him that he should no longer be friends with Tram, that she's looking at all these things from a very myopic view? I'm really standing with Cassie, because why would you buy the fight of another housemate? Because guys, let's call it what it is. People in that house hardly talk to Nomi. I can count on my fingers the people that talk with Nomi, because of how she has presented herself. She was very, very antagonistic when she came into the show, and even up to now, the way she talks to people, she has no filter. She can say whatever she wants. She can insult you anyhow which way, even bring in your parents that are in their various houses. She doesn't care. She's going to do what she wants to do. She's very rude too, very disrespectful. So most of these housemates, if they could help it, they try to avoid Nomi and her shenanigans. So she only has few people that talk with her. There's Abby there, who from time to time talk with Nomi, and there's also Cassie, who had sort of embraced Nomi, because when he got the lucky deep win to spend time in the head of house loft, he chose Nomi, to kind of give her a break and to lessen her burdens as the bench warmer for the week. And he has been getting close to Nomi, but now Nomi wants him to choose between her and Tram. In a game like Big Brother, it is not advisable, because you don't know who will have your back later in the game. So if Cassie shanks all other people and now move only with Nomi, what of if that doesn't favor his game? That is why Cassie was telling Nomi that she's looking at it from a very myopic view. So then Nomi was like, well, that is her own final terms, and he should try and consider it. Cassie stood his ground that no, he doesn't want to do that. It will not be fair to Tram, that he cannot choose. He's friends with Tram, and that's how it is. So Nomi was sort of giving him an ultimatum to pick a side. What do you think Cassie will do? Guys, do you think Cassie will listen to Nomi? Do you think Cassie will listen to Nomi? I think if he does listen to Nomi and cut off things with Tram, it will really hurt his game, because Nomi is playing the game of isolation, and that may not favor her in the end. But with Cassie is not really a strong contender like that. I'm not seeing him that way. So he will need all the alliances he could grab in the house to advance in the game. Now, we also saw Cassie and Nomi. They spent, the night in Nomi's bed, and I was like, what is going on here, guys? It was shocking to me, just the way it was also shocking to Barry and Neche, who were surprised as they saw Cassie go into Nomi's bed and lie down, and they slept together on the bed. Moving on, let's talk about Chisom Chuka and his conversation with Godessa. Guys, Chisom Chuka, like I said, he's very resentful. He's a sore loser, and I say this because of Kamsi had told him that she's no longer interested in having anything to do with him relationship-wise in the house, and that she has moved on with Gerald. And Chisom Chuka, he could not handle that rejection. Remember that Chisom Chuka is a sore loser. In the arena games, if he loses, he's going to talk about it. He's going to trash talk the winner. He does that a lot. So I believe that it was not even surprising to me when he was resentful that Kamsi had moved on with Gerald. So he had this conversation with Godessa where they were trash talking Kamsi, and I'm like, what is this, guys? Godessa was saying that Chisom Chuka should continue what he's doing with Blutopia, and that she doesn't even know why he was with Kamsi in the first place, that Kamsi is not aesthetically pleasing, when they are going for all these their post-show interviews and photo shoots and all that, that she's not really aesthetically pleasing, she doesn't have the vibes, she just lives herself anyhow, she doesn't dress well, she has no sex appeal. She was just saying a lot of things, and I'm like looking at this girl. And Chisom Chuka was concurring with everything that Godessa was saying. She was not advising Chisom Chuka that he should move on with his thing with Blutopia. Chisom Chuka was now saying that Blutopia is very nice, Blutopia cares, that she even washed his boxers, Blutopia is very caring, that if it's Kamsi, if something is happening to you here, she will not even notice if you are even in distress or anything, but for Blutopia pays attention to details. He was just saying a lot, so the comparison was happening. I'm like looking at these people. So I really think that Chisom Chuka is pained that Kamsi have moved on with Gerald, and with the way she was grinding it all up on Gerald in the pool party, I believe that will make Chisom Chuka, really hurt from the pain. He will really be jealous of that. And now it led me to Godessa. Why does Godessa always put down other females in front of men, especially the guys in the house? Why does she always feel the need to put down other females and act as if she's the queen bee or alpha female to the guys? Why does she do that? It's just giving Pygmisha vibes, because Godessa really craves male validation and attention. Look at what she's doing with Barry now. The way Barry is just complimenting her, she likes it, is boosting up her ego. Yeah, her ego. Look at how Yusuf was saying that he was interested in her, and he wanted to pursue a thing with her. If not that Araga confronted him and told him to respect the bro code, and Yusuf took a step back. So Godessa really wants the guys in the house to chase her, you understand? And I believe that may be her grouse with Kamsi, because when Kamsi got into the house, Araga liked Kamsi and wanted to be friends with Kamsi. Godessa was the one that put a wrench in that whole dynamics. She did that, and Kamsi and Araga, they moved away, because earlier in the game, Kamsi said she likes Araga because Araga presents himself as a submissive guy and all that. So she had her eyes on Araga. If not that, Godessa was the one that put a stop to that. And now Gerald and Chisom Chuka there, they were also chasing after Kamsi. So the type of game that Kamsi was playing initially was what Godessa wanted to play. So maybe that is why she has a kind of grouse with Kamsi, because the things she was saying with about Kamsi with Chisom Chuka was like, you and this girl have not had any issues before, you have not quarreled. So where is all this coming from? Where is all this, trash talk coming from? If not that you want to, be in that position that Kamsi was, having the guys chase after her, and it was not happening for you then. But now that you're having some male validation from Barry, from other housemates, other male housemates, you now find it, cool to just put down other females, to make yourself look as the perfect woman, to make yourself look as the queen bee, as the alpha female. And I'm like, Godessa, this thing will not pay you. This thing will not pay you. So it's just giving Pygmisha vibe, and I found it a little bit distasteful, with the way she was just talking about Kamsi, and also Chisom Chuka was enabling it, also agreeing to everything that Godessa was saying about Kamsi. It was just distasteful, guys. So moving on, let's talk about Shiba, having this discussion. Guys, so Shiba and Godessa were having this chat. uh, Araga was also in the mix, and the conversation moved on to Ricky. Shiba was then shaming Ricky that she doesn't really like Ricky, that Ricky is the type of person she cannot admit to know. And I'm like, what? Ricky is the type of person you cannot admit to know. That means she's ashamed of being seen in Ricky's company, or to even admit to people that matter that she knows Ricky. And I'm like, why is Shiba saying this now? Because at the pool party, you were dancing with this guy. You have always been in this guy's embrace, and even as of last week when you were head of house, Shiba. And not until Ricky told you that he is interested in Neche, he has a crush on Neche, and he believes that Neche is the most beautiful girl in the house, that you now started having this kind of double mind against Ricky. And according to Ricky, you already know that Ricky really wants to get down with a female, because guys, Ricky they see something for that house. So Bells and Yusuf, when they start their stuff, all those things just mess with Ricky's brain. Most times you see him is awake, listening to all the whole sounds that these two people are making. So I think that Ricky is full. He really wants but he really wants a woman in that house. But because of how he had already, talked big in the house initially, most girls are kind of pulling back from him, because he had said it that if he can get any girl, that he was just saying it that as if he's a playboy. That's the way Ricky was presenting himself. And most of these girls now got a cue that, oh, so you want to use me to play your game or whatever. And now they are giving Ricky a long group. I believe that is also one of the reasons why Ricky is finding it difficult to really bond with any female like that. So I was surprised when Shiba was talking about Ricky in that manner to Godessa and Araga, that Ricky is not the kind of person she can admit to know. And I'm like, what's the reason? What's the reason? Could it be anger towards Ricky because Ricky had told her that Neche is the finest baby in the house with a face card, and with the player boy vibes, Shiba is now thinking that maybe this guy wants to just play her in the house, and she's decided that no, she will not give him that avenue? Or could it be jealousy because of how Neche had danced a little bit with Ricky at the pool party? I don't understand. But for Shiba to make this kind of comments, I think she's harboring some kind of pain and hate towards Ricky. It's only her that will explain to us exactly what Ricky did to her to say this kind of comment. So moving on, let's talk about the housemates discussion, especially Ricky and Yusuf. They had this conversation where they were talking about Kivo, and when Kivo got into the room, they were like, Kivo, we've been they talk about you. So Kivo was now like, okay, what's the conversation about? And they were now talking that Kivo, they don't think that Kivo is into girls like that, because Kivo was not asking them that why do they say so. Kivo was not asking them that why do they say so. So they were not like, they don't think he's into girls like that, because even during the what they call it, truth or dare games, he doesn't really participate in the games. He doesn't really participate in the truth or dare games. He hardly kiss any girl and all that. And I'm like, what does that have to do with Kivo's masculinity? And then I took it up a notch that they don't think Kivo is into the shorties like that, meaning they are suspecting if Kivo is gay. And I'm like, from where to where, waiting kilo far, what can far? So I was like, why would they say this kind of thing? Remember, guys, Kivo has OCD. So for somebody that is a clean freak like that, he will be selective in the kind of mouths he's kissing in any truth or dare game. No matter what you think that game represents, he will be very, very careful, because he's a clean freak, guys. So Kivo then, advocated for himself. He said that why would he think that he's not interested in girls, that if they go and check his social media space, most of the people he follows are all women, that he really likes women and he's really interested in girls. But as for this house, the only person is interested in is Tammy, and she knows about it. And we're not asking him, okay, does that mean that if there's a truth or dare game, will he be able to kiss Tammy? Ricky said, Kivo said yes, he can kiss Tammy. You understand? And he was also talking about that when Mercedes was in the house dancing in her lingerie and all that, that all those things she was doing was kind of messing with his mind, making him think about different things, like giving him weird desires and all that. And he would not want to, go about the house, feeling so horny and all that. So that was why anytime Mercedes was dancing, all those kind of dances and lap dancing and all that, that he would just look away, because he doesn't really want to he doesn't really want his mind to wander into those kind of thinking. And I'm not wondering if Ricky and Yusuf could be talking uh, about this with Kivu, questioning his sexuality. Do Yusuf think that what he's doing with Bells is the ideal way? Having this kind of fling with, and guys, I'm not really upset about whatever they are doing, because it's their own prerogative to do whatever they want to do. Bells is also interested in Yusuf that way, so to each his own. But what I'm saying is that with the way these two guys, Ricky and Yusuf, look on the ladies, they want every man to behave that way. But no, there are some men that are very, very selective, some men that are very particular about the kind of women they go into. They are not promiscuous men. They are very selective. Before they can even talk to a woman, the woman has to meet some of their standards and criteria. So I believe that maybe this is what Kivo is talking about. And I just listened to that conversation and thought, okay, let's really talk about it. So this is the much I can take on this particular live stream. A huge congratulations to Neche once again for winning the Friday night arena games. And guys, thank you for joining my live stream. I hope you did enjoy yourself. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And it's me, your girl, Fosti Oni, and bye for now.